In 2024, HDB assisted town councils or TCs and flat owners with a total of 859 complex water seepage cases. Such cases include water seepage from various sources, such as from the external wall or from the flat above. TCs are responsible for the maintenance of the external walls of HDB flats as they are part of the common property. Residents who encounter water seepage from external walls in their flat typically report it to the TC managing their estate. Where residents report such cases to HDB, HDB will refer these cases to the respective TC for follow-up. Based on the number of cases that HDB received, it did not observe a surge in March 2025. Notwithstanding, HDB has received feedback from some TCs that the number of external water seepage cases typically increases during the monsoon season. HDB will continue to support TCs in resolving these issues. For complex cases involving external wall seepage, each HDB zone's dedicated team for handling repairs management will support TCs by conducting joint inspections and providing technical advice so that TCs can identify the root causes and carry out repairs expeditiously. This is typically within 1 week after the TC approaches HDB, subject to the availability of the flat owner and TC staff. It is important for TCs to build up expertise in dealing with external wall seepage. To support this, HDB has been conducting regular training for TCs and has made available a training video on the diagnosis and repair of external wall seepage to further level up TC staff's technical competency. Flat owners are responsible for the maintenance of the interior of their flats, including the repair of leaks in the shared structure between units. HDB assists flat owners in resolving ceiling leaks through the Goodwill Repair Assistance Scheme, where HDB pays 50% of the ceiling leak repair cost, while the remaining 50% is shared equally between the upper and lower floor flat owners. HDB is constantly on the lookout for better and more effective maintenance methods and equipment. For example, HDB is working with industry partners and research institutes to develop better ways to address maintenance issues, especially those encountered in older estates. This includes an ongoing trial at 70 flats island-wide on the use of better scanning technology, which has the capability to scan through concrete to detect causes of seepage. Similar to an X-ray machine, this allows the inspection team to see beneath the surface and trace the root cause of the seepage. HDB will then monitor and assess if the technology can be scaled up for widespread use, including use by TCs to more effectively diagnose and resolve more complex water seepage cases upfront. If the trial is successful, HDB will share more details on the plans to scale up.
A check on, is there any internal SOP and timeline for turnaround for the HDB engineers that are tasked to provide technical advice to town council? And also, while the delineation of duties between the town council and managing external wall seepages and versus the inter-floor leakage, which HDB steps in to facilitate in terms of residents' arrangements, they're often, very difficult to diagnose seepages that are not very clear, whether it's external wall or inside. And what we've experienced in Yishun, and to the frustration of many residents, is that they often have to wait many months for a resolution. So does M&D have any plans to invest further in the technical expertise or the research and development technologies to find out and to have more accurate diagnosis of the sources of the water seepages in a more timely manner to reduce the time frame it takes to have a full resolution of the issues?
In response to Ms. Carrie Tan's question, there are two parts to the issue that we're trying to resolve here when it comes to wall seepage. First is the accurate diagnosis. Second is because the HDB as well as the TC responsible for the estate would have different areas of jurisdiction. So sometimes when the diagnosis moves from one possible cause to another, there will be a need to hand over the case from the TC to HDB or from HDB back to TC, And we have found from experience that this process can take time because the diagnosis process would not only require the personnel associated with either the TC or HDB to be available and present, the presence of the homeowner and consent is also necessary. So first, there is the technical issue of diagnosis, but then there's also the human coordination involved. And we will try to move things along as quickly as possible every time a TC approaches us for help.
So often in prolonged rainy seasons, such as the last month or so, we will receive a large number of cases of seepages, especially for older vintage flats. And I hope that the MND and the HDB understand this is really a frustrating experience for residents, having to deal with that, water seepages coming to their homes. So I want to ask the SMS two questions. Firstly, I'm glad that there's this technology where you can almost work by X-ray to look at where the root cause of the seepage are from. And that should help because one of the pain points is not able to know where the seepages are coming from, where's the source of the leaks. So can I ask SMS whether our current seepage contractors that the town council hires, do they have the expertise to deal with this in a way that will resolve the problem in a lasting way, and not having to keep having this recurring situation? And secondly, for those more complex, long-standing cases, can I also ask, does HDB follow-ups continuously? Because as long as there's no resolution, does HDB follow through until you see a resolution to this seepage problem?
Sir, in our experience, contractors are generally equipped with the capability to resolve wall seepage cases, but if the TC is in doubt about the capability of any particular contractor, we welcome the TC to also consult with HDB. What HDB has been doing, aside from leaning forward to assist TCs where there are long-standing or difficult to resolve cases, we have also been introducing methods that have been tested and proven to be effective in dealing with wall seepage cases, such as the corrosion-resistant repair or CRR method. We understand the frustration of residents that Mr. Liang and also Ms. Karitan have alluded to, and this is why we are committed to continue working together with TCs and to lean forward to help, especially for the difficult-to-resolve cases.
I have two supplementary questions for the SMS. Given that town councils rely primarily on waterproofing contractors to identify and resolve water seepage issues, what is the ministry doing to uplift the baseline industry capabilities so that more contractors possess the diagnostic expertise needed to accurately detect seepage sources without repeated trial and error? And secondly, can HDB look into providing more funding to TCs to engage contractors to conduct re-roofing programs more frequently than is currently prescribed, so that water seepage problems can be preempted or resolved more comprehensively?
In terms of the methods or the initiatives that HDB is doing to help TCs resolve wall seepage, first of all, there are regular meetings between TC representatives as well as HDB, and I do believe that technical issues such as wall seepage can be discussed and have been discussed at these settings. I've also mentioned earlier that we have a training video. This is to help TC staff better understand what are some of the possible causes of wall seepage. And we also hope that this would equip them with more information when making a decision on which contractors to engage. And as for the issue of re-roofing, to date, our experience with TCs across the board is that they have been able to continue to do re-roofing based on the funding support that they have received from government, but also from the SNCC that they have been collecting from residents. And Mr. Giam will also recall that not that long ago, all TCs underwent a revision of the service and conservancy charges, and there's also been government support for that. So if there's a need to further increase funding, this is something that we can take up separately if the TCs have a specific request.
Thank you, sir. I have one clarification for Senior Minister of State, and it's about roof seepage cases. Some of the recent cases that we've encountered appear to be linked to HDB's project to install solar panels on the roofs. So I wonder whether the SMS is aware of this and whether she can comment on what HDB is doing going forward to try to minimize this sort of problem.
If the TCs are of the view that solar panels deployed on the rooftops of HDB blocks could possibly affect insulation and therefore affect seepage, then this is something which, in our experience, the contractors that have been responsible for installing the solar panels would work very closely with TC and also with the HDB if necessary to resolve the issue.